Hey there, and welcome to the Cosy Corner, a podcast about all things cozy. Join us as we dive into the world of film and TV, a little true crime and spooky time, food reviews, and talk to some special guests too. So get cozy, grab some snacks, and settle in, because we're about to begin. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cosy Corner Podcast. My name's Emilie.
I'm Abbie.
And today we're going to be talking all things Doctor Who. Now,
My
we are
favourite.
big Whovians, aren't we?
Yeah, as
We
you can
both love it.
see.
Yes, as you can see in the background there. Love that.
Yeah,
So yeah, we're really big Whovian fans. Like, you love like the classic Who and all that as well. You're very
yeah,
invested.
like, this might seem a bit
Yeah.
extreme, but Doctor Who is my life.
It's
Like,
not extreme at all. No.
anything Doctor Who I will speak for
Oh yeah.
hours about. Like, I've got so many opinions, so much to say. It's just my favourite thing.
Definitely, and I'm the same, except I didn't do like a deep dive the way you did with the classics.
Yeah,
Like, I came into Doctor Who with the Ninth Doctor, Christopher Eccleston, and
do you know
I
what? I came into Doctor Who with David Tennant. The
really
Silence of the
I didn't know
Library.
that.
Yeah,
But
Silence of the
yeah,
Library was my first
oh,
episode, and then I went back
listen, I don't know
and
what my
watched them.
first one was. I remember that it had Rose in it, and there was pterodactyls or something, and a
It was a
church.
school reunion, or was it Father's Day?
I think it was
It
Father's
might
Day
have
because
been.
our dad
Yeah,
was
with
in it.
the Ninth Doctor, you said, yeah.
Yeah,
So it might have been
yeah.
Father's Day.
So yeah, she like met her dad,
Yeah, and
and
then saved the
yeah,
dad, and it changed history.
yes,
Yeah.
that was it. That was my very first episode, that one.
Aw.
So, but I've
Yeah.
never been interested in the classics. I've tried watching them, but
Yeah.
I think because they're so dated, I just can't get into it. Like, it's
I
not my
like it
thing.
because it's proper Doctor. It's like, don't want to say it's classic, but it's
It is a classic though.
practical.
Yeah, the
Considering
effects and
that
all that.
then to now with there's so much CGI, it is
Yeah.
proper British low budget show that it was back in the day that I liked, that I enjoyed. See, I'm so passionate about it,
You are, you really
you
are. But
know.
I
Yeah,
thought we'll start off this by
yeah,
introducing a bit about like what this season of Doctor Who has been,
yeah,
like the different episodes, what they've been
yeah.
about, and all that. So
Mhm.
I think we'll kick it off by explaining that this is. I know I'm in two minds of how to pronounce his name. I believe it's Ncuti, like Ncuti,
Yeah, like in Ncuti Gatwa,
Ncuti
because he did
Gatwa.
do a interview and Millie Gibson said how it's like was on like a little
Yes, I
scroll.
seen that. Yeah,
How do you pronounce it? And he said that he himself's been like saying his name
because I
wrong all
thought
the
it was
like
Ncuti.
yeah. That's I
But
think
yeah,
he said shooty, and then he said at 26 years old, his mum was like, "What are you doing that for?" And I think it is pronounced like shooty,
yeah.
you
So
know.
we'll go with that in
Yeah,
shooty.
and
So
shooty. Yeah,
in Shooty Gatwa,
yeah.
this is his take on the Doctor. I think he's been absolutely
Honestly,
phenomenal.
I have really liked them.
I really, really have. I think he's been just perfection.
Wonderful.
So
Mhm.
much new energy that he's
Yeah,
brought to the role.
he's
Like, I
very
mean,
modern.
yes, and he's
Yeah,
bringing a little bit of that queer touch as well, which
love
we
that.
like to
Yeah,
see. We love that representation,
yeah,
and he's just had this infectious personality about him.
yeah.
You
Like
know,
it's
yeah,
something like you cannot not like him.
yeah.
Like
It'd
he's
be
so
very hard to
fun,
not
so
like him.
nice.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So that's been
yeah,
amazing to see, and I do think he may have been a little bit let down in some of the writing with some of the
yeah,
episodes. So I'm not
yeah.
blaming him for certain things.
No,
Like, I didn't enjoy Space Babies.
I like Space Babies, but it was only when you and Kate said the other night about them doing the CGI on the babies'
Yeah,
mouths.
that took me
I
out of
was
it.
like, yeah, I didn't like that.
Just
but
give
it
the babies
wasn't.
psychic power or something
It.
and let them communicate
I didn't
telepathically.
mind it, but it gave me very Love and Monster vibes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not one of my favorite episodes, but I don't know. I didn't completely hate it. It was
Yeah.
okay. You
I
know.
just felt like it was too silly.
Oh yeah, completely.
And like
For a first
following,
episode as well.
yeah, and it followed the
Yeah.
Christmas special, which I liked the Christmas
Yeah, the
special.
church on Ruby Road.
That was good. It
Yeah.
was a great intro to Ruby and her
Yeah.
story, and fantastic to see the Doctor. We just dived right into the action,
Yeah.
and I liked that. I thought that was really good from the offset. A
Yeah.
little bit too silly, maybe, with
Yeah, it
the
was. Considering,
trolls
I
and
know
it.
it was the
Yeah,
Christmas episode, but the first episode of the like brand new series,
yeah.
it wasn't an episode that I would have picked to be the
No,
first
it felt
episode.
a little bit odd being
That's it.
Christmas special. Like I expected
Yeah,
something different, but
that's it. Follow on the Christmas special,
good.
which I really enjoyed. I thought it was really cool. That was the silly episode. I love the little musical numbers, things like that. But to carry on being a bit of a silly episode in the first, I was a bit like,
Yeah,
no, I would have put The Devil's Cord as the first episode.
yeah. I
Going
could see
into
that
something a
working.
bit dramatic, a bit, serious, and then
Yeah.
maybe going to Boom, and then maybe going to Space Babies, a bit of a silly episode to sort of calm the mood down a little bit,
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
especially after Dot and Bubble, that got quite
Oh,
heavy. Although that was a very annoying episode. We can
oh,
all
I hate Lindy
attest to
Pepper
that.
Bean with my all my fibre and might. I really wanted to see the death scenes because
You
they
know,
done my
I
head in
was
that
looking
much.
forward to her getting her comeuppance.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
completely.
but to be fair, I mean, with the way that ends,
you you
it does
you
seem like
can
they're gonna
see you
die
can see
anyway.
what like what it's implying, like, I can save your lives, what's going to happen if they do go,
Yeah.
and they went, and they are
So they're gonna
probably
die
gone.
anyway.
Yeah,
Be a lot slower, but like get their
it's their
comeuppance
own
that way.
fault for being
Yeah,
racist.
yeah. And
That's basically
that
the.
was it was very cleverly done, I thought, even
Oh
though
yeah,
it was an annoying episode and we
yeah,
hated it.
it
I
didn't
actually thought it was a
make it.
good episode.
Yeah, of course it didn't make it
Yeah.
clear like racism, but the things they were saying implied
And in
what they
hindsight,
meant.
once
Yeah,
you've watched the
exactly. Yeah.
episode, you can look back and go, there's no people of colour.
Oh,
There
yeah,
are
yeah.
no
It's
black people.
basically white supremacy.
Yeah, it is.
Basically white
That
supremacy.
society was just white people.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Like
of
that was
course.
it. And I
All
mean,
upper
even her
class.
reaction. What was her
To
name? Was
seeing.
it Lindy?
Yeah, Lindy
Lindy.
Pepperbean. To seeing the doctor was
Yeah,
basically
she saw
disgust.
Ruby and was
Yeah,
like, "Oh, accept."
exactly. And she just
But the
blocked the
doctor,
doctor.
she blocked him right away.
That's it.
Like that was all little hints of,
Yeah,
foreshadowing
racism.
racism and like sprinkling it in there a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think it was very clever the way that was done. And
That's what I was gonna say. It was cleverly done.
I enjoyed how they portrayed it because it
Oh yeah.
wasn't overtly apparent. It was more
Yeah.
just, we're going to lightly touch on this and then it's going to come to a head at the
But
end.
we're not gonna make it sort of forced, as in like
Yeah,
blatant picture
and
of that's what we're
obvious. Yeah,
doing. Yeah, it's gonna be just sort of like as you said, like sprinkled that that's what we mean.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought that was done very well, especially because this is the first Black Doctor, really.
Oh,
We do have
definitely.
another Black Doctor, but that seems to be further down the line. Like we've met
Yeah,
them
the
briefly.
fugitive doctor. Yeah.
So this is our time actually traveling with this Black Doctor, though. It's
Yeah.
his first time being black and
Mhm.
experiencing racism as a black person.
Yeah.
So that was his,
But
and I
it
think
hit.
in that moment
Yeah.
when we see him talking to Lindy and the others,
Yeah.
you can see the slow realization that, oh, this is racism. Like they
Yeah.
don't want to come with me. because
because my skin
of
colour,
who I
basically.
am. Like
Yeah.
that, he
But you know what,
portrayed that
though?
beautifully.
Even though it showed you, like, what kind of doctor that he is, because every doctor, even though they're the same
Yeah,
person, they're different, aren't they?
yeah,
You know, so it showed them, even though they basically looked at him with disgust and they just didn't want to help, he was still willing to
yeah,
help them any shape and form he could. You know, and I really like that.
yeah. Even though he could see that their racism was preventing them from
Yeah,
saving
basically
themselves, he
living.
was still trying to actually save them. He was like,
Yeah.
just come with me. Like, you don't have to stay with me. Just come with me. I can get you somewhere safe. You know, he was
Mhm.
still trying to save them, even though they were racist towards him.
Oh yeah.
And they said that they would rather stay and take their own chance.
I hated it. It was so
It was
annoying.
infuriating, but that was the
Yeah,
point. That was the point, was to make us be like, how stupid can they be? And
exactly.
it's commentary on our own society of how
Yeah.
stupid can the human race be?
Yeah,
This happens, people would rather die than accept help from a different race.
exactly.
Like,
And I think Russell T Davies as a writer, that kind of episode where he doesn't full on show you that's what he means, but he implies that this is what it is, but he makes it obvious that we can see it,
yeah,
is basically is like that's how he shines as a writer that I like.
I think
You
so
know?
as well. I agree with
Yeah,
that, definitely. I think he does that exceptionally well,
of course, yeah.
and it can often massively add to the
Yeah.
storyline
Oh,
overall.
definitely. Yeah.
Like, I think he's really good at character building and development.
Do you know what? I don't think in this series though.
Not particularly this one.
Yeah.
Other ones, it's
Other
really
ones
shone a lot
definitely,
more.
definitely. I think in this series, and it's not his fault. It's not easy. When he first, we call it like RTD1 means his first run, RTD2 means his second run.
Yeah,
Like in his first, he was used to longer episodes, wasn't he? So not episodes, but more episode numbers. And he's getting 6 episodes now. So he does probably have all these ideas and things like that and try and throw it into these episodes. And it felt more times than not a bit rushed.
it definitely
It
could do.
did.
Yeah,
Even like
yeah.
Ruby and the Doctor, they meet at the Christmas episode, and I felt like straight away they were, "You're my best friend. I'll do
That could
anything
have
to."
been a few
Yeah,
more episodes
that's it.
and building
You
up
know
to it.
exactly.
Yeah, and exploring
Yeah,
more.
that's it.
Because
We've
one thing
only
I
had
felt with Ruby is I didn't have much of a connection with her.
exactly. That final, I didn't really care
No,
as I'd care when
no.
Rose left or
Because,
when Donna left. You know, it
yeah,
was that built up
we didn't
of
get
yeah
as much time
with
to
Ruby.
develop that connection
That's it.
and to learn about who she is. We got
Exactly.
snippets,
Oh
which were
yeah,
nice, but to
yeah.
actually form that connection with a character,
We
you need
need
a lot more
longer.
time.
I'd have liked her for another season,
Hmm.
right? And then if it was for another season, I wouldn't be bothered in finding out who she was because I felt like her story needed to be like stretched out a little bit, fleshed out,
Yeah,
so we learned more of her. And then when it came to that final, I might have felt
definitely.
a bit more like, I don't want you to go now, because I actually really
Yeah.
like it, rather than, yes, I really liked Ruby, but I'm not particularly deeply affected that she's
No,
going.
it just didn't feel like we've been able to develop any attachment to
Exactly.
her because
Yeah,
of that. But I think there has been issues with the character development in this season, but in
yeah,
other seasons and all that, Russell T Davis, like, he can really
yeah, he's a
create
phenomenal,
those.
forever, can't say the word,
Phenomenal.
I can't say it, but he's a
Phenomenal.
really spectacular writer.
Spectacular.
You know,
Fantastic.
fantastic writer, brilliant
Yeah. Yeah.
writer. Yeah, like he
Yeah,
is fabulous
and I
writer.
was thinking that this season we were going to be in safe hands, especially after
Yeah,
like the writing that we had for the 13th Doctor. That was awful. I
yeah.
didn't
Some
enjoy that.
episodes were good, some
Some
weren't.
worked, some
Again,
worked.
too many
Yeah,
ideas.
yeah. I
Tried
didn't
to
think
fit them
I
all in.
didn't think the flux was done very well. That
I didn't like the
storyline.
amount of CGI in
No,
Flux.
no.
You know, I
It
didn't
was
like that.
overdone. It was
Yeah,
overdone. Because Doctor Who, you have to have that sweet spot of
yeah.
practical and CGI.
Oh, yeah, you have to have that balance to
Because that's
remind
where
what the
Doctor Who,
show is actually
yeah, that's
is.
where it's come from.
Exactly.
You need to honor the origins
Yeah.
and appease the fans with the
Oh,
nostalgia factor.
definitely. Because I
So,
know when it got announced, when, Disney were getting involved, I was a bit like, oh
yeah.
no. And some parts I'm like, okay, still good, still our show. But then some parts I was a bit like, I can see where I know they haven't
Yeah.
got involved, but where they've used some of Disney's budget that they've got,
That
or,
is what I think has gone wrong a bit with this new
yeah,
season. Like, especially because most of the episodes are spent explaining to new fans
yeah.
what Doctor Who is and the rules of this
Oh, yeah, yeah.
universe, like Ncuti's doctor was explaining to Ruby that Time Lords regenerate and they get a new face, and it's like
Yeah.
we we
I
all know this.
felt
Like,
like I kind of liked how they fitted that in, though.
I think it could have been done smoother.
It could have, but I
It's
liked how
needed
we
because it
said it,
is a
and I
new
like that,
season.
yeah, but I didn't like the way
Yeah.
she was just like, am I being thick, Susan? That's your granddaughter. Like there was only one person's name
Yeah.
that was Susan in all the world, and that's how he
No,
explained
yeah.
it to her.
It is quite a common name, to
And
be
I was
fair,
like,
really.
nah, I just didn't like that. It's a bit like, come on,
No.
Ruby, you are being thick,
It felt like a
you know?
forced interaction to be able
Oh,
to
yeah, yeah,
explain things.
that's
And
it.
yeah, I think even in like earlier episodes, like
Yeah,
I can't remember what ones, but the doctor kind of had to explain some things to her.
yeah.
And I
And
think
I get
he
it
mentioned about
because,
like
yeah, I,
Gallifrey or something, I think he talked
yeah,
about briefly, and how he's the only one of his kind and all that. And it's like, I understand because we've restarted and we're at season 1
yeah.
again now for like what, the third time or something.
Oh, I know. I
Like,
don't
I don't
like
know
the
why
way
we're
they've
doing
done that,
this.
a new era. I'm like, no,
It's they
just
want to bring
carry it
in new
on.
fans. They want to encourage new fans from America with the Disney Plus
I
edition.
understand that, but
But
and I do
yeah,
think there should be more fans. Everyone should watch Doctor
but
Who. If I had my way, yeah,
it's impacting the show though.
it
They're
is.
changing
That's it.
things, and then the
Exactly.
original fans
Because
aren't going to be happy.
that's it. Because that's it. Because the people in America now, they're like, oh, season one of Doctor Who. And we're all like, well, no, really, it's not because they've just changed it up a bunch when
Yeah,
they could have easily just carried on.
yeah,
I don't see the whole why it had to be a new era, to be honest.
I don't.
You know?
I think that is a mistake. I think another mistake is airing
Yeah.
it on Disney Plus at midnight.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
I did not like that. I don't like the whole,
no.
um,
Your primary fan base is in the UK. That's
exactly,
where it started. It's on BBC iPlayer. Air it
exactly.
on that, and then do it on Disney Plus. Like,
Exactly why that's why like issue why would the Americans getting it for the British people when it's a British show,
yeah, it's a British
you know?
show. This is where it's come
Exactly,
from, and
definitely.
we have a gigantic fan base in the UK for Doctor Who. I
Yeah,
understand Americans are big fans as well,
yeah,
because it was shown on BBC America, I believe. So like, I
yeah.
understand that, but no,
They
the
went the wrong way about it,
yeah,
and it was basically they were trying to get new fans more than caring about the old fans who's been there for a hell
yeah,
of a long time. You know?
definitely. There has been issues with that,
Yeah,
and I feel like that although I like seeing more and more people get involved with it, but then
Yeah,
I don't know whether you've seen it on TikTok. I've seen a few different like adverts on TikTok where you
yeah.
can tell these creators are being paid and they haven't
Oh yeah,
watched an
yeah.
episode of Doctor Who in their
No,
life, but
they've basically
they're
just read
promoting
what it
it.
is on Wikipedia,
Yeah,
got the gist of what it is, and trying to sell it to people.
yeah,
When
that's
really they should be asking, you know,
actual
the
facts.
amount of,
Like,
British TikTokers, British, the amount of British fans who've got Instagrams dedicated to Doctor Who. Get in
yeah,
touch with them, you know, and get them to say, Doctor Who's for everybody. Doesn't matter what country you're from.
yeah.
I don't understand why they have to do it to,
Neither do I.
you know.
It's baffling, really, especially because like it's such a
Yeah,
big fan base here, and then taking away the airtime from us, and instead
exactly. And
having
giving it to
America
like
be a
other countries.
priority
Yeah,
and Disney be a priority when this is
exactly.
not a Disney show. This is
No,
not
it's not.
something that Hollywood has got their hands on. Like this
Yeah,
is a British show, something that
exactly.
is
A
famous
British
for
low
having,
budget, but what it used
yeah,
to be, a British low budget show.
it's
Yeah,
famous for
and
having low budget effects and like
exactly
it's got
practical
it did have a
effects.
cult following for a long time, but now
Yeah.
it's much bigger. Like I understand it needs to expand with that audience,
Oh yeah,
but
definitely. Yeah,
I just feel like it's being Americanized
it
and it's
has.
being
I mean, even
Disneyified.
yeah, it definitely. I mean, even with the American like actors that they've got in, I was a bit like, oh God, they are really turning into American. And Neil Patrick Harris in the Toy Maker episode,
Loved him
phenomenal.
though.
When
Oh
he
my
done the
goodness.
Spice Up Your Life, and Jonathan Groff, I was made up when you got announced he was in Doctor Who. I love Jonathan Groff. I like him when
Who doesn't
obviously
though?
obviously we know him from Glee.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've recognized him from other stuff
Oh,
though.
Sisters 4.
Joy's pause.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so one of the lights then just like went out, but
Yeah.
we've
Little
sorted it a bit
technical
now.
issue.
But anyway, what were we saying?
Yeah, we talked about Jonathan Groff.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
So I
yes,
said
that lovely
like
man.
we
Yes.
always like a lot of people know him as Jesse St. James in Glee. I like him more as his character he played in a series on Netflix. It was called Mindhunter. I
I
really
think that's what
enjoyed
I
doing that.
know him from. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. And when he got announced that he was in Doctor Who, I was made up. And obviously I ship 15 and Rogue so much.
Oh,
Who
like
doesn't?
that's even a question.
Exactly.
Oh, and the fact that it was like in Bridgerton era, like
Oh yeah. Do you
that
know what? I've
episode
never watched
itself.
Bridgerton, but I did really like that
But
episode.
if you like scandal
Yeah.
and like period drama, but
Nah.
like edgy period drama where like they're
Yeah.
showing an awful lot of scandal, then
Yeah.
you might like Bridgerton.
Mm, might give
If
it
you
a
like
go.
Nicola Coughlan, then
I
watch
like her in
Bridgerton.
Derry Girls.
Yeah, she's good. She's
She's
good.
gonna be in Doctor Who, isn't she?
Yes, I can't wait for that.
I
Oh
think
my
it's a
god,
Christmas
can't wait.
episode. I'm not
Yeah,
quite
she's gonna
sure,
be the
but is it the
companion.
Christmas?
Yeah, she's the companion, I think, for one episode, I think.
Yay! I really like her. I do really like her.
I do. Excuse me,
But
sorry. I just
can
I just
we talk
burped. I'm so
about
sorry.
Boom? I think that was the
You know, I've got to say
second. Go on.
about Boom
Yeah,
that although it wasn't like massively like visually interesting and like
yeah.
adventurous and all that, I think it really allowed Nchuti's acting to shine.
Oh yeah, definitely. I
Like
really
that,
like that.
yeah.
There was no, there was no monsters. There was no like threat. All right, I know they thought there was a threat in that, but it
Hmm.
turned out it wasn't, and it showed viewers that doesn't always need to be a monster, does it?
To me,
I mean, I really like that.
it was brilliant in the way it showed that human beings can be the monsters.
Oh yeah,
We can be the monsters. It doesn't always have to be this terrifying alien. It it
exactly.
can literally just be humans. Like,
That's
we are
it.
the monsters sometimes.
Exactly.
And I loved how
Definitely.
it like done it in a way where it's slowly revealed, that actually you're not really fighting against anyone. What's going on is
Yeah,
it's capitalism. Like, it's about
yeah,
paying to, well, about like selling and buying things and these weapons and
that's
all
it.
that, and they're making money off
Yeah.
people going to war.
And it shows how people, the episode showed how people realise the bigger
Yeah,
picture of things,
definitely.
doesn't it? Like, I did really enjoy that episode.
Yeah,
But there
that
was
was a
one
really
episode,
interesting one.
yeah, I really like 73 Yards as well.
That
But
one,
I felt like that left me with more questions
you know what?
that
I
never
loved
got
it
answered.
until the last like 5 minutes.
I felt like
Yeah,
really rushed. I felt
the
like with
last
that
bit of
episode,
it.
yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
just felt really rushed. It felt
It
like
did.
they knew they had a time limit and they tried to squash everything in.
It was
Do you know what I
fantastic
mean?
up until that little the
Yeah,
ending, the way it explained that it was Ruby, and then
yeah,
all of that then didn't happen that
that's
we'd just
it.
watched.
And yeah, I mean, I like that Doctor Who give you like, episodes where you question it, but I feel like it's like
Yeah.
episodes like that, considering Ruby had a big, like, I mean, it snowed around it and there was a big impact around it. It needed to be answered. Like, it wasn't an episode like Midnight where it was like, what was the
Yes.
species? Do
And
you know what
that's
I
what I
mean? I
liked about
felt like they
Midnight.
needed to be,
Yeah,
yeah,
I did like
it
that.
left you wondering, but it was a nice wonder. Where
Yeah.
in this episode, it left me a bit annoyed that I didn't know.
Yeah, and
You
there
know,
was a lot that was unanswered there, which
that's it.
that seems to be a theme with this
Yeah,
season, definitely.
yeah.
But I really loved how it touched on like Welsh folklore, and obviously
I wanted more
Wales
of that.
is. I desperately wanted more. Wales is a big part of the show because it's primarily filmed in Wales. The production
Yeah,
company, Bad
Cardiff.
Wolf,
Yeah.
is Welsh. Welsh writers, Russell T Davies is Welsh. Like, there's a
Mhm.
lot of Welsh influence, and I feel like the show could do with more of that
Oh yeah,
within the stories itself. Like, and I
yeah, of
enjoyed
course.
the Welsh aspects of the folklore and like the supernatural element. But for me, the absolute best part of that episode was when she was in the the little pub there, the inn, and they were all
Yeah,
telling her like this story about Mad Jack.
I didn't
I
like
loved
when it
that.
come out as a joke because I
But
was
then,
really
yeah,
invested in that.
they ruined it when they were like, "Oh, we're just joking." I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh," because like that was actually the
yeah,
best part. It was so
exactly.
dramatic.
Yeah,
I was in bed like
it was
this,
old school Doctor Who. Yeah,
oh my God, Mad Jack, this is terrifying. And
I
then
know.
it's
I'd have
like they're
loved
having a
it.
laugh with her.
Yeah, I didn't like that bit.
Like, that ruined it for me.
It did. I think that episode was overall really good, but it did have its downs as well.
Definitely.
But I felt like it was more up than down
Yeah.
because it was
So
really interesting.
there was Space Babies, wasn't there? What was the one after that?
Boom, wasn't it?
Was it Boom? I feel like there was something else. I'm gonna have to have a look. Let's see.
Yeah, there was Church on Ruby Road. That was the Christmas. There was no, it wasn't. Ah, it was Space Babies. Then the Devil's Chord with Maestro. Then Boom.
That was it.
Yeah, and then Dot and Bubble, Rogue, The Legend of Ruby Sunday, and then the Empire of Death. Just double
Okay.
check, but I'm
I
sure it
am.
was
But
that.
yeah.
Is that right?
I think you're right, but I'm just gonna double check. But yeah, because I remember that there was something else that I was like, I need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, got it. Right, so technically the church on Ruby Road was the first of the season, even though it was the Christmas
The
special.
Christmas. Yeah.
Then Space Babies, which I just didn't like at all.
Yeah.
Devil's Code, I did like it, and I
Yeah.
loved like the Beatles references, like
I did,
Liverpool
but
references. That was
I
good.
love that they didn't sing any of the Beatles songs because
No,
they couldn't get
thank God.
copyright. But
Yeah,
none of the Beatles actually looked like the Beatles.
no, they didn't really.
Honestly.
No, not really. But I enjoyed that, like they brought them into it, but they didn't make them the main focus.
Oh, yeah, I
It
did.
was more just they're there and we
Yeah.
talk to them and stuff like
Oh,
that. And
I've
we
got
got a
stuff,
few
I'll tell you that in a
details.
bit. Yeah.
We got a few details
Yeah.
of like when they were talking to them individually, and I
Yeah.
liked that it was subtle and
That's
light.
it.
Like it
There was
wasn't
something I was going to
over the
say
top.
then, but then I realised I need to wait till we talk about the final episode, so
Okay.
carry on. Yeah.
Then it was Boom, which I did think that was a really
I
good.
really
That was
enjoyed that
good.
episode.
Yeah.
Fun fact as well, the person that played Mundy Flynn she's the person that's going to be the
Yes,
companion, but I don't know if she's going to be Mundy or
I
she's going to
know.
be a
I'm not
different
sure.
companion.
I'm
I'm not
excited to
sure. I
find
don't
that
know if it's
out.
been said. If it's been said, I
No,
haven't seen it or heard
no,
it,
I
but
haven't.
yeah,
That'll
I'm
be
excited.
interesting
Yeah,
how they like work that out.
I hope Ruby pops
Because
back
we
in.
have seen that you can have a character be someone else and then come on as a companion. Karen
Yeah,
Gillan, the
she
Doctor
was a
themselves, Peter
soothsayer, wasn't
Capaldi.
she, in the
Yeah,
Fires of Pompeii?
yeah.
Later became
Peter
Amy Pond.
Capaldi. Yeah.
He played Caecilius in the Fires of Pompeii and then
Mm,
became the 12th Doctor.
yeah.
So it just shows how like
It is doable.
flexible and versatile Doctor Who is.
Definitely. So
Yeah.
after Boom, it was 73 yards. To me, I feel like
Hmm.
that was one of my absolute favourites.
Yeah.
I just thought it was done very well. Dot and Bubble, we talked about that in
Yeah.
Fine Time, and I enjoyed that, although it was incredibly annoying with the characters.
It
But
was.
I actually really liked the bit of a twist where we see that Lindy is actually a really bad person.
Oh yeah, when she threw Ricky September under
Yeah,
the bus.
yeah. Poor
Yeah,
Ricky September. Can we just have a moment of silence for Ricky?
exactly.
So
Yeah.
sad. So sad.
That just
So,
showed you how much of a selfish, careless person she is.
yeah, and like, I mean, don't get me wrong, he might have been racist because he was brought up in that
But
society,
he didn't show
but
it.
he seemed nice. He seemed
That's
like a
it.
nice
Wanted to
person.
help and save, didn't he?
Yeah, and yeah, he just, he was nice. So,
He
that
was.
was really
I
sad,
liked him.
but I enjoyed how throughout it we were annoyed by it and we were all just off put by her, like,
Yeah.
there's something
There
off about her, we
wasn't
don't
a
like her.
moment where I rooted for
No.
her.
And then it was confirmed even more, it was like cemented even more. She is a bad person.
Yeah,
And if that's the last straw, you're like, well then. If you die,
exactly.
I'll be happy. That's
I
fine.
don't care.
Yeah. Then the Rogue episode where they were in Bridgeton, I just thought that was amazing. I
That was like
loved
chef's kiss.
it was. I loved how they brought Bridgerton into it because it's
Yeah.
such a popular topic right
I
now.
loved that they bought you made it a Bridgerton episode, but then brought Jonathan Groff in as a bounty hunter.
Yes.
That was so
Yeah.
cool.
And I did get Captain Jack vibes from him. I was like, this feels
Yeah,
like, and we're in his spaceship, and like, it just felt like similar to
it
when
did,
Nine met,
but I
like,
don't like
Captain
to.
Jack. No, he's cancelled in real life,
Yeah, I
so
don't really like.
no,
That's a
no,
sour subject,
it
but
is. Same, I feel the same. But
yeah,
if we can get that same kind of character or energy
Oh yeah, from Road.
replicated in a different
Yeah,
form, great,
that's
because
it.
I do
I
feel like that
yeah,
is missing from the show sometimes.
definitely. I can't wait to see
You
him
know?
again because obviously the doctor's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
come across him again,
Yeah,
especially
he
when
did
he's like,
ask him.
"Find me,"
He did ask
you
him to
know?
find
Yeah.
him. I want them to be together and go
Argue
on a,
across the
yeah,
stars.
have in a relationship and just go on little adventures together.
But knowing like Doctor Who and it's past, it's not gonna happen. He's either gonna
Or it
die
will
or
and
the
it won't go
Doctor.
well.
That's it, or the Doctor's gonna lose him,
Yeah.
and it makes me sad.
Then we've got The Legend of Ruby Sunday. I thought this
Yeah,
was an absolute solid episode.
I really liked it.
I did. I thought
I
it was
did.
brilliant. I
I
don't
did. It
really have
got
any critiques of that
yeah,
specific episode. The
yeah.
overarching storylines, which we'll get into when we talk about the final in a minute,
Mhm.
there's some issues there. But that specific episode,
Yeah,
that it was
that's
great.
it. We see
Felt like
Kate
Doctor Who.
back. We see
Yeah,
Mel back. We even see
loved that.
Rose returning, like
Yeah,
Donna's daughter Rose.
yeah,
Like we see her returning. We see new characters. We see
yeah.
um what's his name? What was his name? Morris Gibson.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah, Lenny Rush, is it? He
Yeah,
plays Morris. I thought he was a cool character. I mean,
I
I don't
thought he was
think I
funny.
agree with Uni.
I liked his
Sort of,
line about, when Kate was like, not even the Prime Minister can come here.
and he's like
And then
not
he was
even the
like,
Prime Minister.
definitely not the Prime
Yeah,
Minister, like, especially not.
exactly. I just don't know how I feel about like Uni taking on kids though, because he's only
Yeah,
13. I mean,
some
Rose is
kind of
15.
child labour laws that might be getting
Yeah,
broken there,
yeah. But
potentially.
hey, it's Uni.
It's
It's
unit,
fine, it's
yeah.
Uni.
Sure, it's fine. I'm sure they're not, you know,
That's it.
doing
But
anything wrong there.
can we talk about Susan Triad's Trees Are Made Ants? Because that was amazing.
Stop it!
That was
Oh my
such.
god!
I
Li-
love that reference so much. She's like, but what
That
she's doing though,
were
like the
definitely
hey hey.
inspired by that, weren't they? That
Honestly, they were.
no doubt
It
about
was
it.
amazing.
But you know what? She's much more likable than Theresa May.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Because like
definitely.
Mel found out, like she's
She's
actually a
actually
really nice
really
person.
nice.
Like
Exactly.
nothing going on with her. Like yeah, she's nice.
Yeah, I
But
really like that.
something within that episode that was not touched on that I really want to know
Yeah.
is what exactly is the technology that Susan is sharing with everyone for free? What
Yeah,
does the
I didn't
technology
get
do?
that. That's it. I mean, it
What's it
said
do? What's
triad
it for?
technology, didn't it?
Yeah, so how she's gonna give it to the people as a
What's
gift?
she giving to
Okay,
the people?
what is it? How do they receive it? Do they
Yeah, we never
download it?
found out that
Like,
actually. I didn't click onto that, but yeah, we
what's
never
it
found out that.
for? Is it some sort of technology that you can download onto your computer and it gives
Yeah,
you access to more information, maybe like about like the
exactly.
universe or something? Is it a new search engine? We have no idea what this technology is. To me, that would have been the first question that the doctors should have asked.
Yeah,
As soon as Kate said she's given her technology as a gift to the world today at like 3 p.m., what's the technology?
that's it. Exactly. I
How
felt
is she
like they
giving
were
it to
looking.
them?
That's it. I felt like they were looking too much at the anagram of it
Yeah. They're
rather
like,
than
oh,
what it
we must
actually
find out
was.
who she is. No, no,
That's
no.
it.
Public safety first. What's she
Yeah,
given to people and why?
exactly. Find out who she is and what the technology
Yeah.
is.
Like, how is she going to release this new technology? And what's it
Exactly.
for? What does she gain out of giving these people that
Yeah,
technology? Apart from out of the kindness of her heart, giving them this technology that people should be entitled to, apparently. What
exactly.
is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
I felt like the last episode there was more questions than answers and things just didn't make sense that I
Absolutely.
hope will in the future. But
Mm.
right now, the questions that didn't really get answered and the things that didn't make sense was more annoying than more than anything. That I hope like in the next season it'll
Yeah.
get answered.
Right, shall we get into the final? Now,
Yeah.
before we do,
Yeah.
what we'll do is I'll count to 3 and we're going to say one word that we think sums up our opinions of the final. Okay? One word.
Okay.
Are we ready?
You know,
One.
I'm gonna say like literally the first thing I said as soon as it ended.
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Underwhelming.
Disappointing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I It was disappointing in the
Yeah.
fact that the whole thing around Ruby Sunday, it made her so much that she was a big impact that it was basically she was normal because special because she was normal. And you're like, yeah, that's fine, that's okay, but don't big us up for something that is going to be a bit disappointed by.
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't like it.
It's the loss of trust between
Yeah.
the audience and the storytellers.
I mean, we watched it in the cinema, didn't we? So
Yeah, we went to go
before
see it,
that's it. So with my friend Kate, so the
which
three of
is
us
a
went to
big
see it.
deal in
Yeah,
the
yeah, of
UK
course.
for
So
Doctor Who to be
we
seen
shown
and,
at
and
the
shown on,
cinema. At
like,
the cinema.
we're used to going to see movies here, not
Exactly.
Doctor Who. This happened, I
That's
think,
it.
at the 50th anniversary with like
Yeah,
Matt Smith, David Tennant, John Hurt. I
exactly.
went to go see it. We all got free jelly babies. It was
Yeah,
great.
it was
The
so
sense of
fun,
community
but
was amazing.
that's it.
But then for this,
It felt
it
like I seen quite a few people on Twitter, and I did agree myself. I should have just watched it at home.
yeah.
All I could
Because
think
as
of,
well, not only did we go see it in the cinema, but we went to go see it in the cinema at midnight. Like this
oh
was
yeah, yeah,
like late at night. You're choking
dying
on
again.
on
Sorry.
how disappointing Doctor Who was. Yeah, so we went to go see this at an
Yeah,
inconvenient time.
yeah.
Like this was something that dedicated fans would do.
Oh yeah, of
Like
course.
this
AKA
was an
us, and
inconvenience.
I
Yeah.
mean, they
I'd
done
rather just
three
go see it like
showings. They
6
done.
p.m.,
That's it.
not
I mean, I felt like
not like
watching
7 or
that
something.
felt like a 2 p.m. showing, not a midnight. It wasn't special,
No.
you know.
It
And
felt weird as well. And to
yeah,
be fair, I wouldn't even say the cinema was full. Like there was a lot of
no,
empty spaces.
there
And it's because of the
was.
time.
I
People
think
can't
so as well.
go.
But don't forget they done free screenings. So
Yeah,
they
they
had
did, to be
screen
fair.
8 where we was and another
Yeah,
two. And to be honest, I chose that screening
yeah,
because there was less people in it. It was all the same time, quarter to
yeah,
11, but there was less people in that screening than the others.
yeah. And then
But
they aired the second to last episode first,
yeah,
and then we
which
had a
was
15
I
minute
enjoyed
break.
more than the final.
Yes,
I
yes.
did what I do you know what sort of put me off a little bit more as well was they had a message before the final from Millie Gibson, who plays Ruby
Hmm.
Sunday, and she said, "Oh, most of your questions will be answered. Well,
She's
most of
like,
them.
most,
That's
most.
it. Like,
Mm,
thank you for coming out. This is so special." So I was
it's
expecting it to
building it
be
up.
like a boom,
Yeah.
brilliant, and it just wasn't. It was. I think it was. I had more fun with the theories of who her mum was than the actual
Well,
outcome.
the main reason for that is, like I was saying before, the trust has been broken now
That's
because
it.
we were essentially lied to.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
clue that we got was leading us to a different theory,
yeah,
and we were deliberately led there. It was breadcrumbs that they were giving us
yeah,
to lead us to these different theories. They
yeah,
weren't just doing that accidentally. Surely it's not a coincidence. Ruby Sunday,
yeah.
River Song,
Yeah, so it
RS,
was that speculation. It was the speculation. During that final, I was
you know?
coming up expecting that Ruby was going to be Ruby's mum at one point
Yeah,
because I was
because
like,
we'd seen her
do you know
be that
what? It
old
was
woman. So,
that much.
like,
Yeah,
there was
It
a
was just
chance
that
that was going to
much
happen.
like
Then with the guards and all
chaos and
that
that
as
much
well.
like yeah, it was that much
But
chaos,
yeah,
that much like different things and that much not making sense. I
yeah,
think that would have made sense more than
it would
anything.
have.
And I
And
mean,
then
it's still not.
with
Go on.
like all the
Yeah,
guards being involved, I
yeah,
was thinking, well, could this be because we've seen an element of supernatural,
yeah.
things since the Doctor invoked a superstition at the end of the universe. Like, so we're seeing a lot of like myth and lore and
Yeah.
supernatural things taking place. Could this be involved with the guards? Where could Ruby be a child of one of the gods or some sort of
Well,
mythological
one of
being
the main
herself?
theories was the person under the cloak was the trickster.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed, not obsessed, but I
Yeah,
loved
I would
that
have I would have
theory.
liked that. That would have
I
been
would have
good.
liked that because he
Hmm.
was the god of traps, isn't he?
Yeah, makes sense.
So that makes sense.
And after the toy maker as well, it would make even
Exactly.
more sense.
And Jinx Monsoon, the maestro,
Yeah,
it would have made perfect sense.
because why were they so afraid of Ruby? And the
That's it.
secret hidden song, River Song,
Yeah. But this is
that
it.
was
This
another one leading
things
into
just
that.
still haven't been answered. She needs to come back because it still haven't been answered why it snows.
No,
Did
we
that get
haven't
answered?
even.
And I missed
No.
that because I, and
What they
then
kind of said, they touched on
exactly,
saying it was such a powerful memory and that's why it snows. If that's the case, then why are we not seeing more people within the Doctor Who universe be able to
exactly.
do this?
That's it.
So and so from down the road might be able to do that then. How come
Exactly.
Ruby's the only one who can make it
That's it.
snow when she
And
thinks
what
of a
was the
memory?
what's the song? Trapped deep inside her soul.
That angel one, wasn't it? Like, da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da.
What does it mean?
Okay, like apparently it seemed to be playing while she was left. Like that's
Yeah.
why we could hear it. First of all,
But
she's a
still,
baby and she won't be able to remember that. But
that's it.
also,
All
surely
the
it has a
things of like
meaning.
try and remember, try and remember.
She's a baby. She can't
She's a
form a
newborn
proper
baby.
memory.
Come on. How does she remember?
It was infuriating. I was sitting there in the
That's
theater
it.
like, none of this makes any sense.
Exactly.
And
And
it's
do you know the
just
one thing as well? Oh, Sutek actually, I laughed when I seen
don't
him.
get me started on Sutek.
No, I actually laughed when I seen him because all I could think about is I said it as soon as I finished, and
And I
then when I
agreed with you.
went on Twitter, a lot of people, other people have said it as well. Is I said I hated that. Why was Sutek like Scrappy Doo on Spooky Island when he went big at the end?
It's exactly that.
And I was
It
like, I went
was.
on Twitter,
They've got to have
like
took inspiration
that's
from that.
it. I went on
Someone,
Twitter
one
later
of
on.
one of like the VFX artists must have recently watched it and then just
Exactly.
been like, you
I
know what was
loved that.
good?
Yeah,
Scrappy Doo.
exactly. It was just appalling, honestly. And
Yeah.
like he's been wrapped around the TARDIS all this time. So does that mean on the 50th when he's seen all the TARDISes fly out, Sutek was like attached to each one of them or
Or did it just like pick one? And then
Exactly.
another question that brings is, when there was two doctors, 10 and Ncuti,
14.
yeah, and he doubled the TARDIS.
Yeah,
Did that double Sutek, or did Sutek just go, you know what? I'm gonna go with that TARDIS. Like,
exactly.
what is there two Suteks, or is there one? And did he have to choose which doctor?
But do you know what? Do you
Like,
know what the
sorry, but
do you know what they got me as well? Is there's an episode in classic Doctor Who, it's called The Pyramids of Mars,
yeah,
and the fourth Doctor and Sarah Jane trapped Sutek into the time vortex.
yes,
Obviously, we know now he survived, he's back. he then does it again and goes deaf and deaf makes life. Why did he not like? And then
Yeah,
obviously
why didn't that
he
happen the
burns
first
off.
time
Why
then?
didn't it happen in the first time?
And then what I will say about, that bit where he's like tearing the
Yeah,
vortex and it like opens a little bit.
that gave me multiverse vibes. That.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah,
no, I haven't seen anyone else say this,
yeah,
that looked exactly like when Doctor Strange opened up the multiverse
yeah,
in No Way Home.
yeah. And in the post-credit scene, when is it Clea or someone who says you've
Cleo
caused
or
an
someone, yeah.
something like that,
An
you've caused
incursion.
an occasion, we've got to go
Kate
fix it.
Kate said incursion.
Yeah, yeah,
About Ruby, she said, "Oh, we've got your details since that incursion." And I was like,
yeah.
hang on, incursion, multiverse tears in space and time. Are we
So
seeing?
not only did they take inspiration from Scooby-Doo on Spooky Island, but now on Doctor
Yeah.
Strange as well,
But
and the
are we
Eternals.
starting to see the beginning of Disney merging Doctor Who and Marvel? Because it is on Disney now.
It is. I don't think that'll ever happen. But if it did,
Well,
I
then
feel
why
like
are they
I'd
doing
hate it.
similar things?
That's it. But I feel like I'd
You
hate
know?
that because
Yeah, I don't think that should happen really.
no,
Much
because
as I
it's
would
its own
love to
thing.
see, I'd love to see Loki and the Doctor
Oh
interact.
yeah. Do you know
That'd
what?
be
I wouldn't
amazing.
mind a little short episode, of
Like a,
like
a Marvel one shot
that's it. I mean, do you
or
know
a
when they
post
do
credit
like
scene.
post-credit scene or something? Do you know what I mean? When the Doctor
Just
met
sorry,
Sherlock
the
and
dar-
stuff.
the TARDIS just turning up at the end of time to Loki,
Yeah,
just being like, "What's going on here?" Like,
exactly. I mean, I wouldn't mind that little fun they had, maybe for comic relief or
yeah,
something, or whatever they do in America, because I'm not sure what they do in America, which is their equivalent.
yeah,
But just something like that. But
something like
not
that.
if
That would
they
be
are
good.
doing that, then I wouldn't like it.
No. But to me, it just seems very weird that we're seeing the
Yeah,
multiverse vibes happening. Incursion. Like,
yeah,
why, with the
you've
purchase of it being on Disney Plus,
yeah,
Marvel being on Disney Plus now, it just seems like, are they trying to plant the seeds of
yeah.
merging these universes? Because anything can happen in the multiverse.
It can, but I just feel
I
like
don't think it should.
they're taking little things from. Oh shit!
Oh,
Sorry,
oh my
it's just fell
goodness. Are
again.
you okay?
Yeah.
Are you
Okay.
alright?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
god. Okay.
That was
Right.
it.
I think we're sorted now.
We are. I just feel like they're pulling things from. I felt like in the final they pulled things from different things
Yeah.
and put it in
Definitely.
Doctor Who,
No,
like
they
the
did.
occasion and like
And
the
it feels
sort of
like,
similarities of Sutek. And for me to
mm,
say that when the final finished, to me going on Twitter later on and the next day,
yeah.
and other people see it saying that too, that he looked
Yeah.
like Scrappy Doo. That
No, it did, there was like a
it
similarity
was.
there.
I
Definitely.
think in the Pyramids of Mars, Sutek looked cool better then than he did with all like the CGI and what have you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I reckon he looked
Yeah.
better than the classic.
I just wanted to say as well,
Yeah,
um, I've made some notes here, so I'm just reading off them.
okay.
Harriet Arbinger.
Yeah, I liked when I thought immediately Harriet Jones, the former
Yeah,
Prime
I was
Minister.
thinking surely this is going to be a nod to Harriet Jones, former Prime Minister, and she's
Yeah,
holding her
I
IG.
thought that it was like a little like a little nod
But
to her,
no,
like,
no,
but yeah.
it was the harbinger of
Yeah,
the
but how do you
gods. Like,
say, how do you not say
this is unit we're
Harbinger?
talking about,
Yeah,
surely during the hiring process, someone who is used to dealing with like aliens, complicated things,
yeah,
secret messages, codes, all that.
exactly,
Surely they figure out Harriet and Harbinger,
exactly.
and that would give you a little bit of a clue to
Yeah,
probably not hire her.
exactly. Like, come on. I'd like to say as well, do you know like the amount, like the acting that Bonnie Langford plays, because she plays Mel, she
Yeah.
really shined in that
I
final.
loved her.
She was
She's brilliant.
she was the favourite. Like,
Even when she was taken over by Sutek,
yeah,
I was like, oh, it gave me chills.
exactly. I was like, wow. But I
She's
did
underrated,
really, she was the one that shined in that final
definitely.
for me. And I did like at the end, this is spoilers, by the way, as
Yes,
well.
spoilers, everyone.
Spoilers. I did
Spoilers.
like how Susan Triad was okay in the end, and she got kind of happy ending. You know,
Yeah,
you
she
should
seems
work
to
for
be
uni.
taken on to unit and all
But
that.
how many people are working for unit now? Felt like every episode we see unit, you can work
Yeah,
for us, you
there's
can
new
work
recruits
for
every
us.
episode.
That's it, like Donna, like Harriet
So I
Arbinger,
wonder what is
Morris.
like what's the criteria to work at unit?
I know.
You've met the
Kate's
doctor
mates, that's
once,
what it is,
like
isn't it?
Kate's mates. Yeah,
Kate's mates, the
Kate's
doctor's
mates.
mates. Yeah.
Like it just seems like either you've got experience with being with the doctor, or
Yeah,
you've met
but
him like once.
do you know what though? That's what they say, isn't it? Like, they do touch on an episode where it says like former companions of the doctor, they
Mm.
do work with you, so they do work with uni. Like,
Yeah,
obviously not all of them, but if they wanted to, they worked with you, work uni.
and like
But
fair enough because how
not
can they go back
everyone,
to their
guys.
normal lives?
That's it.
How
Not
can
everyone
they
could just
do that?
return.
No.
Jesus, this isn't going well. Pause
What's
it for a
going
minute
on
now.
with you today?
Because I keep me like keep spazzing them because it's going to sleep and I keep knocking me thing. I told you I can only sit down for so long.
There was another one that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
You know, the like kind of the beginning of the episode, really,
Mhm.
where everyone just died.
I don't like that. I don't like the way
No,
everyone just died, because when stuff like that happens, you just know that it's not
you just
for
know
real. You know that they're just gonna come back.
that everyone's gonna come back. It's gonna be undone, and
Exactly.
there's no real stakes involved.
That's it. You don't feel
So
like, oh my God, about it, because it's
yeah,
everyone. It's happened in the beginning of the episode. They're
literally,
gonna come back.
yeah. When I was watching it, I went, "Oh, everyone's dead. Oh, I can just relax then because I
Yeah.
know they're
The
coming
doctor's
back.
gonna bring him back.
There's no story otherwise." So
That's it.
yeah, it was anticlimactic, really.
It
And then
was.
I didn't get the whole thing with the spoon. I'm sorry.
What was the point?
It
I
just
felt
felt
like
like
that.
it was
I
to
felt
show
like,
us the
yeah,
impact, but it did it in a way where it just really brought the mood down and it didn't really give us much
it
information.
did. I felt like that's the only time I really felt like, oh, like in the
Yeah,
whole episode. And I know that was why
that's the
he done it
point, but
to
it
do
wasn't
that,
done
but
well.
it wasn't done well. Why did he
Because,
need to go back for a piece of metal, which
yeah,
was
and
a
I was
spoon?
more confused by the fact that it literally just cut from a different scene to him walking in this
Yeah,
like desert area and it's like desolate and then he's asking for a spoon and I'm like, sorry, how did we get there?
exactly.
I have
Like, what was the
no
point?
idea what's going on. And I'm distracted in my mind trying to figure out how we got here and what is the relevance
Exactly.
rather than paying attention to what's
Yeah,
happening.
exactly. Like, I
So
didn't understand that bit.
it could have
Like,
been done better.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely. It
that's
could have been
it.
done better. And then, I mean, I did enjoy Sutak being in as a villain.
Yeah, I did.
Thought that was good. But then the resolution to be the exact same thing that they did in the first place.
Yeah. I feel like
What are we doing?
for fans who haven't watched the classics episodes,
Mm,
fair enough, yeah, it worked. But for people who have, it was like, why are you doing the same thing?
yeah.
You know, it
And then,
didn't.
because we know that he didn't die, he clung to the TARDIS.
Yeah,
Well, it's like, can he even die though? We don't fully know this.
that's it.
And then it looks like he burnt up in the time vortex. Did he?
Yeah,
Was there confirmation of that? Like,
exactly. I
I
don't
feel
get
like
how death and death brings life there either.
no, no. It seems like they're trying to like say it cancels it out, so
Yeah,
then it must bring the other thing like a double negative. If you say
brings a
like,
positive, yeah.
if you say I didn't not like that, then that sentence means that you did like it
Exactly,
with the
but
double negatives. So
I just didn't, death and death brings life, and you're like,
really, does it? I just kind of think it would
exactly,
just result in nothing because isn't that like
yeah,
times in zero by zero?
well, this is it.
You know, zero times zero still equals zero. So
Yeah,
where do we stand? Like, how is that logical? It just didn't.
that's it.
The whole thing didn't really seem logical.
No, it really didn't. It
I
wasn't.
mean, it just felt like a lot of different storylines have been mishmashed together to create this, and we were led in different directions
That's it.
a lot of the
I
time.
felt like he's put, you know, the amount of stories and knowledge that he used to have when he first wrote the show with more episodes that he had in the 6 episodes that he's got now. He's tried to put everything in.
Yeah.
The top of this mic, it changes colour.
Oh, that's the Ncuti.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I keep doing it now and again because I've got a cough, so
Oh,
I
can you
keep
hear
like
me?
I can hear you now. Yeah,
I was going to say if I put it on
I
mute,
love
but
that you've discovered the mute button.
yeah, I literally didn't realise that. I just keep turning my microphone away and have a drink.
No, to
But
mute
yeah,
it's
I've
just
discovered that then.
yeah.
Yeah, I've
But
discovered
anyway,
that.
because I
That
keep
was a little
coughing now and
tangent
again.
there, but
Yeah,
we're
little
back.
tangent. I do
Yeah.
keep coughing, so whenever I'm doing that, I just
Is that why you do that? I thought you were just changing the colour of the mic because I've just went like that and it's changed colour. And I was like, oh, okay, is that how we do
no,
it?
no. I'm just sitting here playing with the colours. No,
Yeah.
I just didn't want to like hack down people's ears.
Yeah.
Because I've got a bit of a cold right now. Thanks, Mum. Yeah.
Oh,
She knows
we
what she
won't
did.
talk about
She
that.
knows. She knows. Anyway. Um So to sum this up really, I feel like this had so much potential to be an epic final,
Yeah, and it
but
just didn't sit
it
well
was
with me.
rushed. There was a lot of different ideas that seemed like they should have connected and then they didn't.
Hmm.
And we, as an audience, we kind of feel lied to with all of the different
Yeah.
little leads that they were giving us, and then they didn't lead anywhere really. And
No,
overall, the whole storyline with Ruby's mum, I'm
that
gonna
was
say it,
so underwhelming.
pathetic, really.
Disappointment.
Because I love
You
the
know,
whole thing, right? I do think it's a great message that the most remarkable people in the world can be the most unremarkable.
exactly. But
Like Donna Noble, you know?
exactly, I do that, but we've had that before
We've had
with
that.
Donna.
We've done that.
Exactly.
Like,
That's it.
why are
And
we
as
doing that
well,
again?
I feel like Russell T Davies is touching on other episodes as well from his first run and
Yeah,
bringing it into this,
it
but trying to
does.
put a
Yeah,
twist on it, and it's not working. I mean,
no.
you're telling me that Davina McCall and UNIT couldn't find their DNA, and she was an
I
NHS
know.
worker all along. Where was she? At 15 years. Why was she
And then
wearing a
you have
pure
to go to
hand?
the future
It's in
for that.
2004. Why was she pure wearing handmade tails to
Look, no
cloak
one.
in 2004?
The only way that would have made any sense is if they made her a goth. If they were like,
Not
right,
even that
Ruby's
then.
mum is a goth and she just walks around rocking a cloak.
But do you know what
Okay, I
though?
can accept
That's
that.
not even
But
like goth clothes.
no,
It
but it
was
would
like
at
a
least
pure
make a
cloak
little
of
bit
death.
of,
Do you know what I
like, it would
mean?
resemble some kind of sense.
Yeah.
But this was like Grim
I
Reaper.
feel like people wear them types of like cloaks and that in like satanic cults.
Yeah, like it could be culty,
You
it
know?
could be from some
That's
sort of
why I was
supernatural
expecting,
thing.
why couldn't they see a face?
Could be witchy even.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
It needed to be something more than it was.
I was thinking, is there some sort of perception filter on this person?
Yeah,
Like the TARDIS and stuff like that? Like, is
yeah.
it so that you cannot see her face
I
on
really just
purpose?
thought it was the trickster, and I
I was
would have loved
thinking
that.
it's got to be some sort of connection
That's
to
it.
someone who
Yeah,
we know, whether it's through the trickster or River Song. Like there's something. It has to
yeah,
be. And then it was just sorry. Then it was just nothing. Just she's
yeah.
an average woman, and that could have been a really cool reveal if
If
we
they hadn't
weren't
hyped
lied
it up
to,
so much.
if we weren't given all of these
Yeah,
different theories and hyped up and got us
yeah.
excited and then
I mean,
disappointed
even
us.
Russell T Davies was putting on Instagram that it was something major,
I know
and
I
it
seen that.
wasn't.
No. And I like I said, I love that plot line of even someone insignificant can be the most important person in the
Oh, yeah,
universe.
yeah.
I agree,
But
yes.
again, we've had that before
But
with Donna.
it's already been done. It's
You
an
know,
old
Donna's special
storyline.
because she wasn't special. She was the most
Yeah.
important person in the universe
So why are
because
we
she
just
was ordinary,
repeating
you know.
this? Like, it's not going to
It was
work
a
another
repeat
time
and
round.
it didn't work this time for
Didn't
me.
hit. No,
It
didn't.
didn't.
And then, of course, we got the big question still. Who the hell is Mrs. Flood?
People are saying she's Clara because
I don't
if
think
you've
so.
noticed, I don't know, this is one of the theories
Yeah, the cloves. I get
because
that.
the clothes, but when they all come back, she says, clever boy, clever boy. Clara says, run, you clever boy.
Yeah, she does.
So it is, but then again, is that giving us like, oh, are we looking towards Clara?
Well, yeah,
So then it's
we
someone
can't trust them.
completely.
We can't
But
trust
then
them, so
again,
we can't
yeah,
even. We
exactly.
don't
But
know if we're gonna get a payoff.
that's it. I mean, she's the story, like telling the story ends in terror and things. She was dressed as the Rani.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I've
again,
seen a lot of people saying that,
yeah,
and
is
then
it
as
gonna be
well,
that?
there's people saying it could potentially be the master because
I
of it
feel,
was a few
yeah,
like tendencies of Missy, the
I
way
feel, yeah, I
she was
feel
speaking.
like, I just feel like it'd be too soon to
I
bring the
feel like
master
it's
back.
too soon, really.
You
But then
know,
everything that's gone on, I mean, then
exactly.
why not? Like,
Yeah, that's
they
true.
don't seem to be following any kind of
Yeah,
storytelling rules here
I've seen
anymore.
another one as well that says that um Mrs. Flood could be another sort of god. You
Yeah,
know,
she
like the
could be the
god
god of
stories,
stories.
it said, because
We're
she's
so
telling the story.
on the same
Yeah,
wavelength.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
could
saw
be god
that.
of
Yeah,
stories. She could be influencing these stories. She could be setting them in
exactly.
motion.
Yeah, I
And the
just
way
really
she,
hope she's a villain now.
oh, she's got to be, I think. Not
I
giving
really
Cherry a
hope
cup of
she's.
tea.
Oh yeah,
She's a
I
villain.
mean
She's a villain.
Cherry Sunday just wants a damn cup of tea and she's still
Will
not got it.
someone give her cup of tea, please?
Exactly. I
Someone, anyone.
mean,
At this point,
exactly.
anyone. Even
That's it.
lukewarm, she'll take it. Like,
Exactly. Even cold tea, she'll take it, long as it's
because
a cup of tea in her
honestly,
hand.
I feel like she's kind of neglected.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've got to
It's so
go for a
sad.
couple of hours to uni, look after me mum. But people are saying that
Strange
she
neighbour,
is.
come in, please,
Yeah,
and look
but
after
people are
her.
saying as well, Mr. Fudd could be Susan
Or, as well, I've seen
because
people saying
yeah,
river, because flood,
yeah,
river.
I've seen that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
another water. But did you see when the doctor says to Ruby, "We can change our face, but we're still the same person. We sometimes do it to hide away." When
And then
Mrs.
she
Flood, she
says that.
says, "Oh, nice to be out. I'm always hiding myself away."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh,
Is that a hint that she's some sort of Time Lord, like
Time
maybe
Lord."
the Master or,
Yeah, the
a different
Master,
character?
Susan,
Yeah. She like it's hinting that maybe she's something like that,
I just hope she's a villain now.
I think she will be.
But then
I think
again,
so.
I think she's going to be Susan because she said, your
But
granddaughter see you again. He
is
says, yeah, I'll see
Susan
you again. But
is you know more than the classics about me.
yeah,
Is Susan mean enough to not give Cherry a cup of tea?
no, I don't think she is.
But why would she
She's
go out of her
definitely
way
not.
to be like, well, we all
We
want
all want
something,
think.
that we can't have, or something like that.
But
Like,
when
she's not gonna
that
be,
doesn't mean we're gonna get it. And she's like, what the hell does that supposed to mean?
just be easy, just go make her a cup of tea.
That's it. Not
Takes
this
2 minutes.
mysterious, like,
And then look out the
you
window
know,
and look at the camera.
that gives me proper creepy vibes,
And
that.
then later on, she actually looks at the camera when she's talking.
Oh,
She
yeah, yeah,
breaks the fourth wall and talks to us.
that's it.
So that lends itself against the theory of God of Stories, because God of Stories will probably be able to break the fourth wall.
Yeah, there's just so many things. I just hope it doesn't fall flat like Ruby Sunday story.
Well, going off of that, there's a good chance it'll just be she's no one.
Yeah, I really hope she's Susan though, and I feel
Yeah.
like with that final it is edging towards she's Susan,
I hope
which would
it
be
it
nice.
pays off because so far we haven't had any of the
Yeah,
mysteries have a big payoff and
that's
give
it.
us that satisfying end of,
Yeah,
oh, it was this.
yeah,
We've not had that.
but I'd like to have if it is Susan though. I think her name's Carol Ann Ford. Let me just check. I'm sure it is. I'm just gonna double check that I've got her name right. Yeah, Carol Ann Ford. She was the original um Susan in the first series. So I would really, if she is
Yeah.
Susan, I'd really have loved it to be her. I know she's
Yeah.
sort of older now, but the way time is, different timelines, things like that, and I know she's the doctor's granddaughter and that, but I'd just like it if she is Susan for it to be that character, that actress. Do you know what I mean?
It would feel more fitting.
It would, but that's it. I
Yeah.
mean, Mrs. Dobson, what's her name? Her name's Anita Dobson. That's why I was like, I'm thinking of the actor's name. Mrs. Flood, she's not young,
No.
she's so they
You
could
know,
bring the
one thing
actress in
I
if she is Susan.
noticed, one thing that I noticed in I think it's, yeah, both of those last two episodes,
Yeah.
I think, I could be wrong, but I would have sworn every time just before she comes on screen,
Mm.
we hear the radio glitch,
Oh
and then
yeah,
it
yeah.
always says something about storms are coming. Now we know the storm to do with like Sutek is coming, yeah, but it just seems really like deliberate. It talks about a storm coming, and then we see Mrs. Flood come on screen.
I know, yeah. She's up at
Storm,
like I like
flood.
Mrs. Flood. Yeah.
Like, is there a storm that's going to
Weather.
cause a flood? Is she the flood?
Oh.
Like it
Yeah.
seems like it's foreshadowing. It kept saying like storms are approaching, and then Mrs. Flood comes into the room.
Oh,
Like,
I like
is this
Mrs. Flood.
deliberate? Are we? Why at that moment are we hearing the radio say that? Why didn't we
That's
hear it in a
it. She's
different
just,
scene?
and she knows what everything is. She
Yeah,
knows the TARDIS. Look at the
yeah.
Christmas episode when she
She did
said, "What
call
have
it a
you not seen a
TARDIS.
TARDIS before?"
Yeah. There's something
She
there, but
knows.
I don't I
I
feel
think she's a
like
Time Lord, and she's hiding.
I think there's a strong possibility of that,
Hmm.
but given what's gone on in the final, I don't want to get my hopes up
No, I
because
don't.
I don't trust them.
I don't trust Russell T Davies right now. I mean,
No.
I was ready to say that he was dead to me after that final, but
Oh
you
God.
know,
Strong words there.
yeah, very strong.
I
You know how I
understand though.
feel about Doctor Who, though,
I know.
and
I know.
I'm just not getting
It's
my hopes up. But
me,
I
you,
like to
and
think,
Kate walked out of that cinema
yeah,
and we were in shock for a
we
long while.
was,
We were just silent.
we were
That's
just
not
like
like
I didn't know
us.
what I was speechless.
We just stood there and didn't know what to do with ourselves for a minute.
That's it.
We were like,
It was
what
just
did we
terrible,
just
wasn't it?
watch? And that was the whole consensus in there. Other people were like, what was that?
People walked
Like,
out like not. I
yeah,
heard
like
someone say
immediately.
like, "I just didn't
Yeah,
get that.
yeah,
Why wasn't if someone said if her stories ended, why wasn't everything answered?"
yeah.
She's got to be coming
Although
back, Ruby Sunday.
I have seen reports that we're going to have a few more episodes with Ruby
I hope so, because
in
the
the
stuff's
next
still
season. Yeah.
unanswered.
We need to know why it still snows. We need to know the connection with Mrs. Flood. I
Yeah,
mean, I still kind of feel like we're not fully done with Susan and her story with Triad Technologies. I feel
because we don't
like
know what technology she was giving
no.
out.
And also, although we found out the reason why we kept seeing her throughout time and throughout the
Yeah,
universes, it was Sutek sending his angel of death or whatever, to spy on them and all that.
yeah,
But why make her show up and like reveal herself? Isn't that just giving the doctor a big clue
yeah.
what's going
This
on?
is it.
Why not just keep her hidden? So like,
Exactly.
I feel like there was a bit more there that could have been explored.
And I didn't like, do you know when the doctor was like, she appeared here, she appeared there, it showed
Mm.
2 off-screen adventures
Yeah, we didn't even
that
see
we
them.
didn't see.
I
And you're
wanted
like, you
to see the
can't
robot one
do that.
and the blue person.
Exactly. You're like, do you know what? You can't do that. You
They
know,
must have been episodes that they had to cut and they just like gave it a little cameo.
well, this is it. And it didn't sit right with me that because
No.
I want to watch that adventure.
Yeah.
I
But
know.
yeah, overall, I feel like many fans are saying exactly what we're
Yeah.
saying. It was very disappointing
Yeah,
and
very rushed,
it
very
had so
disappointing,
much potential.
underwhelming.
Yeah. It was just, in a word,
Yeah.
underwhelming.
And Russell T Davies needed me there to write it with him.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it come down to.
I know, they're just missing out, aren't they?
They are. They should
Don't
let me
know.
write an episode of
They don't
Doctor
know
Who and it
what
would
they're
be
missing.
belter.
Yeah, it would be.
Honestly.
If you could
Exactly.
write an episode, what would it be about?
I don't know. I actually don't know. Hmm.
I love where it's going more with like the myth and like supernatural stuff.
Yeah.
I love mythological, supernatural stories, so I
I
would probably
feel,
lean more
yeah.
towards that.
I feel where I'd go into is if Russell T Davies had the idea to write something, I'd have the idea to make it better.
You come in and just improve it.
Do you get what it, yeah, do you get what I mean?
Like, no, 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 none of this.
None of
Like,
this, you know,
right,
none of
River
this.
Song is coming into it, right?
Exactly. River Song is on screen at all times,
There's
you
not
know.
a scene without her,
Exactly. Not a
basically.
scene without River
All of
Song.
your budget is going to go towards River Song.
Exactly. Give Alex Kingston all the
Yeah.
money, you know.
Just,
Exactly.
you
Bring
don't have to
all.
pay
Yeah.
Ncuti. You don't have to pay anyone else. They don't even need to be in it. We're just gonna
Exactly.
have
Just
a
River Song.
solo River episode.
Fun fact, guys, my
Yeah.
cat's called River Song. I love her that much.
The
But no,
dedication.
seriously though, I don't know, like, I feel like I'd bring River Song, but monster wise, I want a good Ood episode again. We haven't
Oh
seen,
yeah.
I mean, we've touched on the Ood in Flux, fair enough. We
Yeah.
haven't had a proper episode with the
That
Ood
would be good.
since the Planet of the Ood in season 4.
Yeah, they haven't really
Yeah,
came up much.
that's it. I'd bring back past monsters like the
Not
adipose.
the
I'd
most
be
obvious ones,
That's it. Just something like the I don't know
bit of
why the adder
nostalgia.
said the adipose, but I felt like they were cute. I'd
That was
probably
an
bring them back,
underrated
and that
like
wasn't
monster.
underrated.
I loved
Exactly,
that. They were so cute.
exactly. I'd make an episode
They
like
were doing
Midnight
no
again where it
harm,
just
but
worked with the
like,
mystery.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd make an
no harm
episode
really.
with like Midnight again where it just worked with the mystery of
I
not
loved
knowing.
not knowing what it was. That made it
Exactly.
10 times
That
scarier.
worked. I think he tried to
Yeah,
do that with this and
and
it
it
didn't
failed.
work.
Yeah, it didn't work.
You know,
You can't recreate Midnight though, to be fair.
exactly.
You
And
can't.
you're like, Russell, half of these ideas that you've done in the past won't
Yeah.
work again.
And that type of episode is called a
A
bottle
bottle
episode.
episode,
Yeah,
which
where
I
it's all just
actually felt,
enclosed.
that's it. I felt like the 60th special episodes were like bottled episodes.
A bit, yeah.
You know,
They do have that vibe to them where
yeah, they were fun, but I just felt like
mostly
bottle episodes.
or everything that happens is contained in that episode and may not have
Yeah,
much of an impact outside. It does a
exactly.
little bit for that one, but especially Midnight, as soon
Yeah,
as that episode was over, we've not had anything relate back to it since. It was
No,
just
but
its
I
own thing.
like that.
I do, yeah.
I like that.
I reckon we need more of Shooty's Doctor to experience a few bottle episodes
That's it.
where it's completely unrelated to anything
Yeah,
else. Even if it's a solo one where it's just him and he goes to a
yeah,
planet and like it's a bottle episode, that would be good. Because I feel
definitely.
like that allows us to see his character more,
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Did
Learn
I
more
ever
about
tell
him.
you when I bought the Doctor Who magazine? Just popped in my head, that's why I smiled. And it said, write in to like Doctor Who and you had to design a monster and like write a short story,
I love this. Go on.
right? But I couldn't write in because it was only for like kids up to 10. I wrote, I drew, I'm awful at drawing, but I drew like this big like Yeti, right? Like this big like my favorite color is like I all I do is wear black. So it was like this big black Yeti and he was cool and he was called the Creator
The
and he was
creator.
supposed to have created all the monsters. Don't ask me, right?
Whoa,
And
hang
all
on
the
though. That
monsters,
Abby,
wait,
that's
wait,
actually good.
wait, all the monsters were basically coming back. But it was like I was looking at more of a film than an episode because I do
Cause
go on
aim
a little bit.
high, yeah.
But go big or go home,
Why
and
not?
all the monsters were coming in. But then basically the Doctor had 24 hours to get to the Creator, which was this big black Yeti, and like defeat him before he unleashed all the monsters into the world, not even just Earth, all the universes that the Doctor had
I'm
travelled to.
cry laughing because this is actually it's so funny, but it is actually good. Like
Thank you. I
I
love that
like
you're just
that,
laughing at my
but it's
ideas.
so funny.
It is.
It was for kids.
I hate it. I wrote it out. I didn't read the small print.
You didn't read the small print.
I wrote it out. I drew them.
Oh my god.
I think I even sent
Oh
it off. I can't remember if I got my mum
well,
to send it off.
the rules are
But then
there
when I
to be
read it, I was
broken.
like, oh, up to 10. I think I was about 15. Honestly, I don't know. I can't remember what age I was, but I never was like older
The
than
rules
10.
are there to be broken, Abby.
Exactly. But if they got it,
If
I
they
don't
ever
think they
use
got it.
it,
Because if they got it, and they didn't use it, then it's their loss.
it is. It's
Again,
completely their loss.
it is. I feel like
Oh,
I need to
that made me laugh. That did. It did.
thank you. My
But the
inspiration for my
concept of a
film.
monster where all of the monsters have come from, that's good. That's good.
Exactly. I
That's
feel like
good.
I need to write a fanfic on this, don't I?
I think you've got no choice. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I need to write a fanfic
You
on
do.
this.
But I reckon I would really like to see in Doctor Who in the future, like what we were saying before, like more Welsh influence and like
Yeah.
Welsh folklore. But I
Yeah.
would specifically love like Welsh witchcraft and
Oh
folklore
yeah,
and like
definitely.
fae, like fae
Yeah.
folklore, witches, like all kind of intertwined and stuff like that. Like I'd love to see
Yeah.
that brought into Doctor Who, like mainly to pay homage to the Welsh influence that this show has anyway, and
Yeah.
bring that more into it, and to pay tribute to like the old kind of tales that we all hear about
Yeah.
Wales and supernatural stuff from there. Like I
Definitely.
just think there's so many different things to explore because
Yeah.
a lot of the time where we get our folklore is from Gaelic parts
Oh
of
yeah, yeah.
the UK, so like Wales and then of course like Scotland, Ireland, stuff like
Mhm.
that. Like
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
where it all kind of comes from. So there's a lot to explore there, and there's just so many untapped stories that they could go into.
Oh yeah, there is. They're missing out on like our
Yeah.
knowledge basically. Not knowledge, but ideas.
Especially Fae though, because the Fae are
Yeah.
like they're tricky, aren't they? And little
Yeah.
tricks with them. So I feel like the Doctor could do something accidentally and now he's in debt to the Fae and like he gets
Yeah.
kidnapped by them, or the companion gets kidnapped by them
Yeah.
and has to go into the Fae world. Like, it writes itself.
It does. It does.
Well, I think that
Yeah.
just about sums it all up for this episode.
It.
We
I've had
talked,
fun talking
yeah,
about
we
it.
talked in depth about all of this, and I feel like it's been a bit of therapy, really, for
It
us.
has to get it off our chest.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
it was almost traumatic, really, watching it.
It was. It was.
Oh,
Ruined my week.
it could have been good. It could have
It
been
could,
good.
but it just wasn't, was it?
Yeah. And you know
Well,
what?
not
Like,
to me.
no, we're not experts, but we are
No.
Whovians. We are diehard
Yeah.
Whovians, and it just didn't
This
feel
is us
like it
just
was
saying what
Doctor
we
Who.
think.
Yeah.
Our
So,
opinions.
so yeah, let us
Yeah.
know in the comments what you think all about
Yeah.
Doctor Who and the final, especially the final. Head over to our socials, which are all linked below, and join in with the conversation. Let us know what you thought.
Yeah. Let us know your
Yeah.
opinions on not even the final, the series in
All of it,
whole.
yeah.
What if you enjoyed this series? What did you like? What didn't you like? Like, let us know because we'll read them all.
Yeah, and we love
We
joining in
always
as well
do.
with conversations, talking to people, because we can talk
Yeah.
about this for hours.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And
Yeah.
don't forget
Forget
to
to
stay
stay
cozy.
cozy.